Hi folks, this is Dr. Rob Cywes. I am the CarbAddictionDoc, and today's topic, we're going to discuss the absolute importance that you must have dessert. Dessert is essential. Oh, but I'm keto, I'm kind of... Let's unpack this. Dessert is essential. Now, what makes a lot of people fat and sick is dessert and its friends. So why is dessert essential? Well, here's the way it works, folks. Dessert is usually, or is almost always, some form of carbohydrate meal. It could be ice cream, it could be cheesecake, it could be fruit, it could be a cheese plate with a cheese platter with some honey and nuts and jam. Dessert is the relaxation period at the end of a nutritious meal. And the way it works is this. How much steak can you eat? How much steak can you eat? Or how much salad can you eat? Or how much fish can you eat? You have no idea. You have no idea. But let's play this game. Let me sit you down and let's say we're eating ribeye steak and I put in front of you an 84 ounce. The cow sits down, an 84 ounce, very fat ribeye steak. That, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is called food nutritionally necessary. So you start to eat the steak. Oh, I'm hungry. I'm OMAD. I only eat once a day. I'm hungry. I'm going to start eating. And you start eating that steak. You have no idea how much you're going to eat. Even my good friend Sean Baker tucks into his, well, Sean might actually finish the 84 ounce steak, but that's Sean. However, most of us, we start eating the steak, whether it's 8 ounces, 12 ounces, 20 ounces. At some point, a signal, especially if it's high fat, goes from your belly to your brain that says, dude, you're full. Oh my God, I'm stuffed. Can't eat any more steak, and you push it away. Why? Because the satiety signals that come from saturated fat have gone to your brain and said, that's it, no more. And then 2 minutes later, you're eating a tub of ice cream, you're eating some cheesecake, you're sitting in front of the TV with a bag of chips, with a bag of pretzels, with some chocolate. You're not eating food. You're not sitting there with another little bowl of steak, picking up a bit more steak. Nobody does that because you're full. You've taken care of your nutrition. What you haven't yet taken care of are your emotions. And dessert is always an emotional event. And we have paired dessert with the consumption of carbohydrates for the mental relaxation. You could go outside for a cigarette. You could have a glass of wine or pour a scotch. Those are equally good at dessert. Maybe not so much the cigarette, but a cigar every now and then. Or you could play a game of cards with your wife and have the creative aspect of the game of cards and the empathetic human connection with a friend. You could take your dog for a walk. You could listen to some music. You could paint. You could read a book. Dessert, folks, is about the necessary emotional relaxation that comes after eating, and it doesn't have to be consumptive. In fact, the more action-based dessert is, whether it's something physically active, something creative, something meditative or spiritual, or empathetic human connection, or combinations of those, the more relaxing it is. And what you're doing when you're eating is you're decreasing cortisol levels by filling yourself up. Hunger is driven by this cortisol intensity. And as you fulfill your hunger, especially with high fat, cortisol levels go down. Insulin levels aren't spiked because you're not eating carbohydrate. And what happens after that, as your cortisol levels go down and as your emotional stress relaxes, you get a burst of serotonin, which is your relaxation hormone, which is dopamine is your focus hormone. Serotonin is that relaxing hormone that you get from carbohydrates, from alcohol, from nicotine, shooting up just a little bit of heroin for dessert, or a conversation with somebody, a walk with your dog, reading a book, playing a game of cards. Serotonin relaxes you. It activates the endorphin system. It relaxes your brain. and on the back end of serotonin, under conditions of low cortisol, as your stress relaxes, comes a little hormone called melatonin. And melatonin is the molecule that puts you to sleep as an after product, as the conversion of serotonin to melatonin in the face of low cortisol. And if your melatonin levels are high toward the evening, because you've relaxed your emotional stress, the hunger, the feeding your hunger with your steak has relaxed your cortisol level. When cortisol levels drop, serotonin levels go up and then come down, melatonin levels take over. You have what so many of us complain about that we don't get. You have a restful night's sleep. You go to sleep, you're tired, but you're satisfied, you're happy, you're relaxed. And while I've been talking here, James is rubbing his eyes, he's falling asleep. But melatonin works that way. Melatonin works when cortisol levels are down and when serotonin has taken care of your emotional stress. And so many of you struggle with sleep. Well, taking a melatonin pill may help, but not in the face of high cortisol. You still have these wild nights where you go to sleep for a little while and then wake up with your head buzzing because you haven't taken care of cortisol, you haven't taken care of serotonin, which alleviates all the stresses in your life, both nutritionally and mentally. Doing things that manage your stress hormones and your stress level allows melatonin to give you a refreshing, good night's sleep. You can't outsource that. There's no pill for that. But it works, folks. So you have to do dessert, but you don't have to consume it. And dessert is the beginning of the relaxation period after dinner when you get ready for bed. And you can eat as late at night as you want to. You can't eat late at night. Lions go to sleep after they have dinner. Lions go to sleep after they feast on another animal. They're carnivores. Never met a lion that snacked on a little bit of grass. So there's a fallacy that you have to eat long before bedtime. No. Make your eating, make your actionable dessert part of the relaxation process that gets cortisol to go down, that gets serotonin up and down, that relaxes your brain, that elevates melatonin levels, that helps you have a good night's sleep. Made you think, didn't I? If you want to consult, give us a shout, 561-517-0642, by text in the US, in North America, including Canada, or by WhatsApp, anywhere in the world, and we can set this up. In fact, I love my European, my Australian, my Asian patients, because we do some of those visits at crazy times of the day, when melatonin should be working in my life. But hopefully this gives you some insight. Hopefully this helps you to understand the cyclical nature and how you can influence the restoration of healthy cycling in your brain and in your body. Subscribe to this video channel. It's free. Hit the little bell so you get reminders when new videos drop, because these videos are designed to make you think and maybe from time to time implement certain improvements in your way of life. I am the Carb Addiction Doc. Thank you for watching.